Hello, I'm Samara. This is my piece. It's called Access at New Smyrna Beach. Access at New Smyrna. This piece is part of a series that I've been working on for my MFA. The title of the series is important. I'm going to share the concept so you can understand the picture. So the series called Our Time on Earth, Leaving the Dash. It's a little long. Freezing seconds that never stop. So our time on Earth is our time is limited here on Earth. Leaving the dash is living life. That dash between the day that we were born and the day that we die. Again, because our time here is limited. And freezing seconds that never stop represent that moment that we press the shutter, or I press the shutter when I take my pictures, that I'm freezing a moment, but in reality that time did not stop. We froze it, we supposedly had that picture, but in real life kept going. So in my project I want to represent time with movement. So I do intentional camera movement. And when I was doing my experimenting for my project, I experimented different type of movements, but the linear or horizontal panning was the one that stuck for me because of that linear, that dash of that living life. So my pictures, I want them colorful and bright. I want to represent that living dash in a happy mode or connotation because it's like to promote living happy life. You know, we worry about so many things all the time. There's so many buttons out there, and having good moments. So I'm all time with my camera, also looking for those moments, candid or casual. Some I also planned. I planned some shots, but most of them I try to find casual moments. So this picture, Access at New Smyrna, we were at the beach on May 29th. That was Memorial Day, and I was looking for a moment, beach day, you know. So my pictures are multi-layered. So I do a frozen moment first, and then I take another one with an open aperture, so I can move my camera and get that movement. So normally, I have to do that quick. I have two settings on my camera, so I can change from my sharp pictures to the open aperture, so I can get the movement. And so when I go home and I blend these layers, the layer on the bottom is the still, and then I pick, like I said, I take few pictures, so then I see at home which lines I like better. It's like painting. Which lines are better. So then I work with the opacity, so I can, the lines don't take all of the picture, but I still want them. And then I mask that layer, and I start bringing out details, because I want that we are conscious about the time is moving, but I don't want to take away from the moment that we live or others live. So the funny story, I know Patrick likes the title, so I'm going to talk about how I got with the title. After I finished blending my layers and everything, I said, okay, I think this is good. One of the things I like is also when you see the picture, if you have a chance, is look through the layers and you can see the details popping up from the movement. So I said to my husband, okay, I think it's ready. It was a Friday night when I was finishing my editing, and we were drinking a little. I was drinking my sparkling wine, so I was kind of happy a little bit. And I look at the picture that I said to him, it's so funny that we got two butts showing up here. It's like the first thing you see. And in my joking thing, I said, I'm going to call it Access at New Smyrna. And he was like, Samara, how are you going to do that? You're going to offend people. And I said, but that's what you see, and I'm an artist. I think I'm allowed to. So I'm not going to lie that eventually I was concerned, should I do that? I don't want to offend people. But I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. So I stick with it, and this is Access at New Smyrna. Any questions?
Do you do handheld or tripod?
You know, I started doing a tripod all the time, but the lines, the blur is blur. So I decided the sharp picture is I do my settings that I don't need a handheld. And then for the other one, the lines doesn't have to be perfect. I try to, because my focus, I use it the same thing, focal point that I decided to use, and from there I just move my camera. So I started with the tripod, but I decided I don't need it. When I was experimenting at the beginning, that I used different camera movement and also long exposure. So I did at the beginning, before I stick with my lines, I did a lot of, I use a lot of tripod because I do the ghosting, so I wanted to see the people moving. So I left the camera and opened the aperture and let everybody. So I have a lot of pictures with just the ghosting, a feel of because of the movement. But for my project, I decided to stick with the movement, horizontal movement, so I don't need a tripod for this. You have a question? Yes?
So I'm curious, is the horizon line kind of dividing the top and bottom? Is that intentional to do with, like, in my mind, I like to think conceptually, so I'm thinking.
Well, not necessarily in this case, because I was at the beach and there was a horizon, it did divide it. But I take a picture of many other moments that not necessarily have a line, So in this case, yes, and actually, soon I'm gonna want to do a movement, similar picture like that, but with the sunset. I want to see people and then the sunset. So that one will have a horizon line too, but not. That's not exactly what I'm looking for all the time to divide the picture. No. Any other question? Yes.